Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Ruth, a senior immigration associate here at Clark's Legal.
And I'm Monica, an immigration solicitor at Clark's Legal. Today's episode focuses on sponsored license compliance heading into 2026. If you're an employer sponsoring overseas worker, this is a conversation you won't want to miss because the Home Office has significantly increased both its scrutiny and the severity of its penalties.
That's right. Over the past year, we have seen a noticeable shift. Sponsor license compliance has always been critical, but the stakes are now considerably higher. The Home Office has made it clear that it is taking a far tougher approach. So, Monica, let's begin with the basics. What exactly is a sponsor license?
Yes, it's a good place to start. In the UK, any employer wishing to hire a non UK, non Irish national under a route such as the skilled worker route must hold a sponsor license. In simple terms, it's a formal authorization from the Home Office to sponsor overseas workers. However, this is not a one off approval, it comes with ongoing and mandatory compliance duty.
And those duties have become more demanding. The Home Office is carrying out more frequent and more detailed compliance audits. In 2026, it is no longer enough to have the right documents on file. They want clear evidence that your HR systems are robust and the sponsored workers are being actively and properly managed.
So, what does that mean in practice? One of the key areas is reporting. Sponsors must notify the Home Office of certain changes within strict timeframes. For example, if a sponsored worker's job title, salary, or work location changes, this must usually be reported on the Sponsorship Management System or SMS within 10 working days.
And even a single missed report can have serious consequences. It may trigger a compliance visit or lead to your license being downgraded, suspended, or even revoked. Importantly, the impact isn't limited to the business. The sponsored workers may also lose their right to remain in the UK.
Another major area is record keeping. Sponsors are expected to maintain comprehensive records for each sponsored worker. This includes right to work checks, up to date contact details, employment contracts, pay records, copies of qualifications, and evidence of recruitment.
Crucially, it's not about keeping those documents, it's also about accessibilities. You must be able to produce them quickly if required. In some cases, employers are given as little as 24 hours notice to provide full documentation ahead of an audit.
We should also mention the genuineness test. The Home Office wants to be satisfied that sponsored roles are genuine, skilled positions and not created only to facilitate migration. They'll examine your business activities, the necessity of each role, and the adequacy of your HR and compliance systems.
We have seen licenses revoked where the Home Office has concluded that the roles were not genuine or that the sponsor lacked sufficient oversight. Common issues included untrained HR teams or gaps in internal processes, both of which can pose significant compliance risks.
Which brings us to the key question: what should employers be doing now to prepare? The consistent advice from legal professionals is simple: regular internal audits.
Exactly, Monica. An audit isn't about ticking boxes. It's about pressure testing your systems. Are records complete and up to date? Are reports submitted on time? Do all relevant staff understand their obligation? It is far better to identify and resolve issues internally than wait for a Home Office inspection.
Audits should be proactive rather than reactive. Many organizations benefit from scheduling them quarterly or biannually. Try to mirror a home office visit. Can you retrieve every required document for every sponsored worker promptly and accurately?
Training is another critical area. Compliance knowledge shouldn't sit with just one individual, such as the level one user. Anyone involved in recruitment, HR, or line management of sponsored workers should have appropriate training. You need resilience in your system, especially when staff are absent or move on.
And it's essential to keep up with legal developments. Immigration guidance changes frequently. What was compliant last year may no longer be sufficient. Recent update around salary thresholds and skill levels are a good reminder to always work from the most current guidance.
Finally, a word on enforcement. Penalties are becoming increasingly severe. Serious breaches can result in license suspensions or revocation, civil penalties, and in extreme cases, criminal liabilities. For business reliant on overseas talent, that can be devastating.
There is also the reputational impact to consider. A revoked license can damage your standing within your industry and make future recruitment, both domestic and international, far more challenging.
To sum up, sponsor license compliance in 2026 is under greater scrutiny than ever before. Whilst the risks are significant, employers who invest in regular audits, strong record keeping, staff training, and a proactive compliance strategy can protect both their businesses and their workforce.
If you haven't reviewed your processes recently, now is the time. Don't wait for a home office visit. Review your systems, refresh your training, and ensure your records are in order. Your business and your sponsored employees depend on it.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you for joining us as we explored sponsor license compliance for 2026. We'll be back soon with further insight into the legal and regulatory developments affecting your organizations.
Thanks for listening, and remember, when it comes to compliance, prevention is always better than cure.
Thank you.